Hi, in this lesson we'll learn how to create auto timestamp for every modification with specific range in Google Sheets. So in this file, if you modify any amount, date and time of modification will come automatically through a script. So every time I add a new value, date and time will come. If only date is there, it means you need only to change the format to display date and time. Let's start from scratch and learn how to create timestamp on Google Sheet. I'm going to create a new Google Sheet using sheets.new or even from your drive, new spreadsheet. I'm going to rename this one to something like time YouTube. I will add some data, so I'm going to copy this data, paste it here. And here we will add the timestamp. So if we modify any value in column C, timestamp will appear in column D. To do so, we are going to use the app script. By default, app script starts with one function called my function. We are going to change this one to onEdit function. And it is a case sensitive, so it must start with a small o and capital E. Function return a value, so we'll make this function to return x. You can use any name here. This x is the current range, the edit range. So in this case, we're going to create another function. Let's say r. You can make it something like modified range, mr. This one is equal what is inside x. Range. So every time you modify any cell in your file, the value of the current cell will be inside your this variable, which is mr, for example. Let us confirm it's working. So I'm going to console.log. I'm going to check what I have inside mr. So mr.get a1 notation. You don't need to memorize all this. You can simply add spreadsheet app dot get active range dot get, and you can choose from here. So we need get a1 notation, so I can copy this one and paste it here, so there is no need to memorize. Get active range is exactly the mr function. This line of code I don't need. I just use this one to get my correct spell for the method. So I'm going to call this one. I'm going to save. Now let's try to modify any cell. So if I modify this one is G4. So if I try to find the log, I can't find the onEdit function is still running. Let's give it some time. Now it's completed, and we can read here we modified cell G4, which is correct. So now we are sure that this code can identify which range we edit. So simply, if we modify any cell in column number 3, which means if mr dot get column anything rather than 3, we are going to stop our code. Why we should do so? Because we can add more condition, like another sheet, like another row. So if the modification in any column rather than column number 3, we will stop the code. Return. So return is like end function. So stop the function. Otherwise, I'm going to offset. Offset gives me the ability to move from my current range. So I need to stay in the same row, so it's 0. I need to move to the next column, which is 1. So this line, if I modify this one, it will go one column. So if it is C5, it will go to D5. So in this case, I need to set the value, and again it is case sensitive. So S is small, V is a capital, to equal new date. Now, if we modify any value in column number 3, which is column C, next column will equal current date. Let's try. Okay, it is date and time, and all you need to do is to change the format. If we modify any cell in any other column, nothing will happen, because as long as it is not equal 3, the code will not run. Let's say we need to stop at row number 15. So if I try here, it will not work. So in this case, I can add one more line here. If my variable mr dot get row, if the row is greater than 15, I'm going to return. Return means end function. So I'm going to save. Now let's try here, which is 16. It's supposed not to work, but if I try here, it's supposed to work. That's it.